All right, bud. The first thing I want you to look at, okay, is just imagine what's going on in these players' minds and in their body right now. Okay, look at this crowd. We know that this is Game 7. We know that they've. This is the third time now that they've traveled to Denver after a long series. Remember, this series had 4 overtime games, so these guys' bodies are tired. They've worked super, super hard, and they've been on the plane. And you got all these people in the crowd that are going to cheer against them. The only people that in this building, really, you may have a few sporadic Blazer fans, but the only people in this building that are on their side are the people on their bench and the people on the court with them. So, but even with all that, like ball's about to go up. They're going to tip up, and they got to be ready to play. So they got to get their mind right. And then they got to go get after it and do what they're paid very, very, very well to do. Okay, so just imagine that space right now, and then once the ball's tipped up, all those people in the crowd, they don't matter. It's just um, baseline to baseline, side court to side court, doing what you got to do, what you've been practicing so long to to be for. Right, is here, right, to get to the conference finals. This is why everybody plays. So let's see what happens.
Denver has had an outstanding year and home court advantage.
Mark, are there more nerves? Do you get more jitters because it's a game 7? When we asked him if he slept.
Okay, so watch right here. All right, well, who's back on defense? I know like the game is just getting started. Remember what we just said about tired legs. They've been on the plane. This is their third time getting back to Denver. So now Harris is coming up, and remember we also talk about basketball is a game of pace, right? Sometimes you're going a little bit slow, and then you got to go quick, and then you're slowing back down because then you got to be on balance. So let's see what Harris does here as he crosses half court.
He goes, yeah, I slept like a baby. I woke up every 2 hours.
So did you see? He saw that help defense wasn't really there. Aminu was kind of look at where how Aminu's standing right now. He's in, and Gary Harris sees this right away. And CJ is like saying, "Yeah, I got him," but if Harris is coming full speed, you can't go backwards faster than Harris is going forward. So if Aminu's not in that help position, CJ stands no chance. So Harris sees that, and watch him get the ball from his right hand, which he's coming up with here, to his left hand, which is going to set up that quick cross to get back to the middle for the dunk. So let's see that.
We asked him if he slept last night. He goes, yeah, I slept like a baby. I woke up every 2 hours and cried. Oh, Harris down the other end.
Okay. And like Harris made that play, he's got the crowd going, he's got the crowd amped up, but somehow the Blazers still have to find a way to say, what? Next play, next play. Okay, next play. We'll get our legs into it. We'll still be able to get back on defense. That's probably what Stotts is saying on the sidelines, is just making sure we get back on defense, keeping the ball in front of us, making them make tough shots. All right. So here, look at Aminu. Why do you think Millsap is playing off Aminu so much? Because Aminu's a streaky shooter, so he's going to hit 3 in one game, and then he's going to go 0 for 8 the next game. So he's especially here at the start of the game, he's got to prove to Millsap and the other guys that this is going to be one of those games where he's going to hit some shots. So Millsap, he's just kind of lax in his closeout. Let's see what Aminu does if he goes right up for the shot, or maybe his coaches are telling him, "Hey, just get a few baskets inside, see the ball go through the hoop, and then you can go for the three-pointer," which probably is likely what the coaches were telling him.
Their forwards just really.
All right, bring that back, okay? Aminu, great defender, um, and just a good utility guy, knows the game very well. But I watch his footwork. First, watch his pump fake. He Millsap isn't going really. I mean, he steps towards him, and he actually gets on pretty weak pump fake. Actually, he actually gets Millsap to step towards him, but then his footwork, he steps backwards. If you just watch Aminu's footwork. He steps to the side and backwards rather than right past Millsap's foot. He lets Millsap recover because of that wasted step. Watch. I think it's Amito's right foot.
Their forwards just really struggled to consistently make.
So he made his tough shot. I mean, give him credit. Um, it's still a good play, but there's a little wasted motion there, right? Nobody's going to be perfect. We're just looking at some things to kind of highlight here. Okay.
Perimeter jump shots, but a nice bounce back and drive by Aminu.
Okay, so let's see. We got some spacing, good spacing here. We got Jokic, Millsap is facing the corner. In NBA, they have illegal defense, so you see that's why Dame and Aminu can only spend so much time in the key before they got to get out. Uh, Jokic, set an okay pick, and now he's looking for the roll. But Harris is quick, and he's a good driver, and Cantor can see that. Looks like CJ is trailing him, so Harkless is going to have to dig down and kind of help Jokic on that roll until Cantor is able to recover, which means CJ's got to work really, really hard to get over that screen and get back to his man. All the while, probably Dame should be the one helping off, although Craig hit some shots in this series, uh, so he's got to be mindful of that as well.
Gary Harris. Cantor.
Okay, so Cantor so the other thing is Cantor has been told this whole season you can't play defense, you can't has had to hear that the whole time. So this season, this series, he really stepped up, and you can see right there he stopped the initial drive and kept Harris in front of him. But watch Harris's footwork here. Okay, so he's clearly not half Cantor's size, but Cantor is quite a bit taller than him. There's really no way if Cantor stays down that Harris should be able to get this shot up over Cantor. But watch his footwork and pump fakes.
Up defense there. Harris, nice adjustment. Backs it
Okay.
home.
You see that? Let's just go back and watch that.
Gary Harris.
Boom.
Cantor
Pump fake.
help defense there. Harris, nice adjustment. Backs it home.
Cantor was too eager to block that shot rather than just because he should have known he had the advantage. There was no way Harris was going to be able to shoot over him if he just stayed down.
Harris is 3 for 3. Greg.
That's just, let's go back and look. See
Harris is 3 for 3.
who has the ball. Cantor's kind of walking back. Harkless is, yeah, I got Murray. Dame's trying to talk. Aminu's nobody knows. I can't tell right now who's picking up the ball. And then guess what they get. So Dame decides, okay, I'll take up ball, but by now it's too late. Torrey Craig has a head of steam. He's a good enough ball handler, probably not a great ball handler, but a good enough ball handler with that kind of space that he should be able to create something. And he probably gets by Lillard here enough that clearly Amino has to slide over and at least stop the land. But when he does, it's dunk time. Yeah.
Greg.
Yeah.
Collins will.
So watch Cantor here. All right, this is where Cantor's at his best. He's going for every offensive rebound. He's willing to battle and put himself on the line. He's going to push around Jokic. Even though if you look at Jokic, Jokic's probably got some size on him, but Cantor will battle.
At 3.
So now watch as he gathers himself, and then watch his footwork here.
Cantor the offensive rebound. Cantor get.
Footwork and pump fakes. Okay, if you footwork, pump fakes, you don't have to be the highest jumper, the most athletic, but defenders oftentimes, unless they're super, super committed, they either want to go for the steal or they want to go for the block at some point. So Cantor knows that, and he's very good around the rim. He's very comfortable getting back to his right hand, finishing with his left hand, whatever it may be, until he pump fakes and pivots until he gets a wide open shot, which he does right here.
Finishes. Good strength there from Enes Kanter.
Wait, come back. Look at Murray, who's supposed to be the point guard. This is how good don't sleep on Jokic. This is how good Jokic is. What point guard gives the ball back to their big man after the inbounds to have them bring it up? So clearly Murray's got all kinds of trust in Jokic to be able to make the right play. And, because Cantor is going to be guarding him, so it's not like Cantor is going to press him full court. And then Murray can come down and they can get into some different sets rather than Murray always having to be the one to make a play. So, Jokic, just because he's pudgy or whatever you may think, clearly his teammates respect his ability to make plays.
Rebound. Cantor gathers and
Okay,
finishes. Good
right
strength
here.
there from Ennis Cantor.
Okay, watch Zach. So here's another example of footwork on both offense and defense, right? He's very light on his feet for as big as he is. He does a good job initially of really staying in front of Millsap. But on this play, Millsap just does a much better job with pump fakes and step throughs.
Millsap sidestep, backs it home. Good start for Millsap.
Okay, so Jokic is playing off CJ. I don't know why. CJ's a good shooter. Probably because he trusts Harris to get over. Harris is a really good defender, tenacious. So maybe he trusts Harris a little bit too much. And this is a like straight up pick, so we're not on the wing. We're really at the top of the key. So maybe Jokic is told to just kind of play that CJ could come one way or the other. And then once Cantor commits to screening one side or the other, then Jokic can commit to defending that side. So let's see what happens.
Harris trying to fight over the screen. McCollum.
So watch how high Jokic is on this play. One, he's really not ready to play defense right now. Cantor finally gets, and he's played a whole lot of minutes, so he's not going to play every possession perfectly. But Cantor is finally now going to get set on a screen. And CJ is going to use that screen. Look how low CJ is, right? He's ready to attack. He's not standing straight up with the ball. He's ready to come right off that screen and then attack Jokic, who, even though he comes up and kind of pretends to play defense, he's in too high of a stance to really stay with CJ at this point. See, look at how tall he is. He's already beat right there, and I can barely even see CJ around the screen because Jokic isn't down in the stance ready to play.
Harris trying to fight over the screen. McCollum gets to the basket. He got Jokic on his back beautifully. Lillard 0 for 4 to start.
Let's go back and watch that too, because just looking at the spacing, so clearly Craig is not going to lead, and CJ knows all of this, right? And if you look at Collins, that's probably the only like weak spot in all of this. He's in what's called the dunker spot, where if Millsap, if CJ gets past Jokic and Millsap steps up, then it's an easy lob to Collins. Or just like what happened here, we'll see. CJ can get right to the rim, then he just takes a shot right to the rim. But the guys that are not gonna, that he knows that are not gonna leave, are Murray and Torrey Craig, because Rodney will hit it. He's a little bit streaky, but he's a good shooter. And then you got Dame clearly, who Torrey Craig's is told in like no uncertain terms, like you don't leave Dame at all. So CJ knows all of that. So he knows if he gets by Jokic, he's either got Collins for the lob, or if he just gets to the rim, he got the lay-in.
Harris trying to fight over the screen. McCollum gets to the basket. He got Jokic on his back beautifully. Lillard 0 for 4 to start the game.
Let's see, are they crossed up already? Like, who's guarding Murray? Nobody. I mean, maybe Rodney Hood is going to come pick him up. So this, to me, Cantor's got his back turned. He probably doesn't really have any idea where the ball is. I'm not sure. Collins looks like maybe he's going to pick up Plumlee. I don't know what Curry's doing or who he's going to guard. Curry should really be the one who's going to pick up Murray. But I'm guessing this is going to be a lay-in.
Murray sees an opening, goes to the basket, double clutch.
Yeah, they were out of position, and sometimes that happens. You get cross-matched on offense, and there's a quick transition into defense, and you just don't have time to properly get matched up. But Rule number one in basketball is the ball scores, right? You got to get the ball stopped. So whoever it is, you don't go find some random person. You got to come and stop the ball.
Banks it home. What a beautiful adjustment in the air.
So if I was Zach here, I'm dropping back because Plumlee cannot shoot. He's never been able to shoot. He's got some weird, funky shot. But he's a good athlete and he's a good playmaker. So I'm sagging all the way back, staying on balance, so that if he does decide to go up, I can go straight up with him. So you're staying low in your retreat, but I'm not playing him for the shot at all. Just moving my feet and giving him ground, until you get into the key area, and then you're bodying him up, but straight up the whole time. So let's see what Zach does.
We picked from last year. Plumlee stumbles a bit.
That's an offensive foul. So clearly the refs missed that one. Collins played fantastic defense. Plumlee just put his head down. I don't know. And then the other thing is watch what Turner does. I think he's like, it's really hard to just let a play go when you really should.
Their lottery pick from last year. Plumlee.
At this point, Plumlee's got to dunk. Like, Turner should just say, okay, concede the 2 points. It should have been offensive charge, but now instead of that, Turner reaches in, and Plumlee goes up and dunks it anyways. And now Plumlee probably missed a free throw, but who knows?
Stumbles a bit, gets it back, and got shoved. Turner with a bad decision there, and Plumlee with a chance for.
Look at his. So I want you to look at his eyes, right? Like, Plumlee's not a star player, but he knows the game. Okay, he's not scared of the moment. You can just look in a player's eyes and know, like, yeah, I kind of messed up by dribbling into traffic and kind of losing the ball, and the call could have gone the other way. But he's in the game. He's definitely in the game. Like, just taking it, one play at a time, I guess, to use a super cliche.
Point play. Know what you are, fan of. The defense sprinting back.
So here comes Colin with the pick. All right, let's watch if CJ walks down Barton and is going to come back to the middle. If he decides to discard the screen and go to the strong side because Seth Curry's there, so who's that? Monty Morris probably needs to stay hooked up on him, so he can maybe fake going into the screen and then come off of it. If Zach sets a good screen, then CJ can come off hard. You know that Gary Harris isn't going to leave Dame, so he can come to the middle. And we're in the same situation. You're going to see this a lot in basketball. We got the high screen, we got the dunker spot. So then it's up to Plumlee to kind of hedge and recover, depending on what Jokic does. If CJ is able to get past kind of that first line after the screen,
and presenting a wall and not fouling, bailing out.
So I'm not sure what Jokic is doing, giving CJ that much space. But watch CJ gather. All right, as he gets his feet set, and he makes sure he's behind the three-point line, because there's no worse shot in basketball than having your toe on the three-point line, and now you only get 2 points instead of 3. So he makes sure his foot's behind the line, and then watch him go down. You'll see his butt drop. He gathers because there's no way, and he gets on balance. That's the main thing. He's not drifting to the left or drifting to the right. He gets himself on balance. He gathers, and he doesn't go straight up and down because his momentum's taking him forward. But CJ's taken this shot enough times that he knows if I drift a little bit forward, I'm good. But he doesn't drift right or left. So we'll see that. And then watch Jokic play off of him. I don't know why, but he plays off of him because CJ's a good shooter. Maybe he just got burnt the last time, so he's a little bit more hesitant to come up. CJ knows that, so then he goes boom right into the 3.
The defense sprinting back and presenting a wall and not fouling, bailing out. McCollum rattles that in, a three-pointer, and their first three-pointer. Good performance.
Okay, so now here we are, basically the same play, except for now Dame's taking his turn instead of CJ. But what I want you to watch is let's come back to CJ, see how he used the screen.
Probably with a chance for a three-point play. Know what you are, fan, though. The defense.
Just watch if he walks Barton down and then really comes off the screen and gets Barton's set on that screen.
Back and presenting a wall and
not really, but he does dribble back. So he goes a little too early, in my opinion. He could have waited a little bit longer for Zach to set that screen. He doesn't really use that space. I would have liked him to dribble him down a little bit more and then come off hard on that screen, like we've talked about, and really go shoulder to shoulder with Zach. But I think he saw Barton was leaning a little bit, and he knew that if he got past him, he could really use his dribble as like an extension of the screen to really get Barton behind him. So that's what he does here, and then let's see what Dame does on the next play.
Allen bailing out. McCollum rattles that in, a three-pointer, and their first three-pointer, good performances.
So first of all, look at all that space, right? I'm not sure why Dame hopped back. It was just nobody's perfect, so he just probably kind of felt the need. But when he did that, he created all that gap right there. That's probably Torrey Craig, good defender. But now look at how much farther Jokic is, because he knows that Dame can hit from right there. So if he's not up on him, Dame can pull up and rise and hit that shot. So compared to where Jokic was with CJ, where he's below the three-point line, now Jokic is up here. So really, if Dame would have tightened that screen and not taken that little hop back, he would have had Jokic all the way to the middle, and probably Cantor would have had a dunk. But he took that little hop back, and then let's see what happens.
Think about it. He started most.
So he actually gets by Jokic, and he could have done a little drop pass right there, and maybe Dame hasn't taken a shot yet this game. I'm not sure what. Maybe he feels like he needs to contribute in some way, so he wants to get a shot up. But he really has Zach right there, and then if Morris steps up on Zach, then look who's wide open in the corner. Okay, so this should have been a wide open three, really, but we'll see what happens. So Dame gets off balance. He gets pushed a little bit. But the other thing to watch is Harris. Watch Harris stay with the play. He's a great defender, tenacious, so he doesn't give up. He gets the screen set on him. He's going to stay with Dame.
He started most of the year.
Right there. See, all that time he recovered to him. Plumlee does a good job stepping up. But because Harris stayed and recovered rather than dying on the screen, now Dame doesn't really have a good option of a retreat dribble. And so he's just throwing up something, hoping that maybe Zach comes up with it. But doesn't.
And now coming off the bench and doing a good job.
All right, watch. Okay, I just saw another thing we need to look at here. I want you to watch. Remember, Collins was the one who set this screen. Watch what he does after Dame's turnover.
Think about it. He started most of the year, and now
look how hard he is getting ready to run. Okay, he knows this is Game 7 playoff game. He's got no fear. Our team's down already by 15. If I can make a play right here rather than us going down by 17, I can keep it to 15, and then make a huge block. Maybe I can get a chase down block, and really change the momentum of this game. And so rather than look at all these other guys, Jokic is walking, Plumlee's walking, Cantor's walking, and immediately Zach went into a sprint to try to chase block this down, and he just about gets it too.
Off the bench and doing a good job.
Forrest gets inside, reverse, sweet move. Guys are not.
Okay, so surely this is a design play, and they want to get CJ, get him kind of a head start, a running start, to where I think if we go back, you'll probably see Cantor sets a screen for him first.
Guys.
Yep. So Cantor set a little wing screen on Barton to get CJ a head start where Barton's trailing him. So Dame passes, and then Collins is probably supposed to set another pick right here as CJ goes by, and then come out and set the ball pick as well.
Are not good players.
So it also puts Jokic in a tough spot because he senses that he needs to help out a bit on CJ because Barton's still needing time to recover. So CJ's got a couple options here. Either he can possibly, but he can either get it to Zach right there, but Barton's got long arms. Jokic is there. That's not really open. So I'm sure the next part of this play is for Collins to come out and set that ball screen. So watch how McCollum gets to the ball screen. He's gonna walk. He walks Jokic down because he wants to set up Jokic going one way. Okay, I'm sure CJ is a good enough ball handler and he's crafty enough. He knows if he walks him down, or Jokic is going to walk down, and then he can get right back into. So here he goes on the cross. Boom. That's tight handle. Okay, you do not make that play. There is hardly any space to make that play, and his handle is so tight that he can make that play. And now he's got his little floater he can get to.
McCollum gets inside, layup.
Or a lay-in, because Plumlee didn't really step up either. So CJ made that whole play. They don't get 2 points without CJ being a good ball handler, setting up Jokic on the screen, and Zach setting a good enough screen to get CJ a little bit of space.
It's good. CJ McCollum has come to play here and get.
We'll just watch a little bit more. We may not get to the end of this first half, okay? But because I just want you to have 10 or 12 minutes to just kind of digest what we're looking at. So let's see. While we got it paused here, Cantor's on a man. CJ's hustling back. Collins probably doesn't see yet, but Collins is hustling back. He probably doesn't see that Plumlee's waiting there.
7.
So this is straight up one-on-one. Okay, Dame's probably like, I got to get mine here. Game 7 of the playoffs. This is my team. I just get low. I'm gonna make something happen.
Shot clock at 8.
So pause. All right. This is what makes Dame phenomenal. Okay, and this comes only through a lot of practice. I want you to watch. So he goes behind the back, and he's going from behind the back from his right to his left. And the crazy thing about this is Dame shoots with his right hand. So watch how quickly, because remember, Torrey Craig is a good defender. He's lanky. He's got some length over Dame. So if Dame takes too long or fumbles this ball when he goes behind his back, it's going to take him too long to get up. So watch how quick he goes from shooting, from dribble behind the back till he gets it into the shooting pocket, and then up. Boom. You see that? Boom. Now it's in the shooting pocket. He's on balance. So his knees are bent, his butt's down. He's going to be able to. He's got to fade away a little bit because he knows he's got to get some distance from Craig. So he's going to fade back a little bit, but he couldn't even do that fade and be on balance on the fade if he hadn't got low and got into his shooting pocket.
Floaters up and.
And that's just money shot for him, right? He's practiced that over and over and over and over.
Little exhale for Damian Lillard for his first field goal.
See, like first field goal, right? So he was feeling like, all right, this is my time. We're down 11. I'm gonna have to get us going into the second half.
First points.
So you see this a lot from Jokic, right? He's not super quick. So he's gonna dribble, nothing happens. So he kind of gets himself stuck. Looks like he's stuck. Maybe Cantor kind of relaxes a little bit, and then all of a sudden he steps through for some little floater. So let's see.
Holding on.
So that's footwork, and this shot's gonna go in. So that's touch, right? So I said, don't sleep on Jokic. All right, don't sleep on Jokic.
Xanet scores. Made something out of nothing. Turner hits a second.
Let's see.
Mentioned Turner hadn't been scored.
Okay, so Cantor's got to step up, which means either he's got to stay with him, right there, if Murray goes quick, he's got the pocket pass to Jokic, but we'll see.
But his teammates
Yep.
raving about.
So pocket pass, right? Because Hood knows that, and Cantor both know that Murray's a good shooter, so they got to go with him. Dame really should have been the one to be there a little bit closer. I would have left Craig in the corner and really collapsed on Jokic. But he's spaced out quite a bit, so can see why he didn't get there.
The other things he's been doing is Jokic.
That's touch, okay? You're not 7 foot whatever, and make that if you haven't practiced it and you haven't got good touch. So you can see that on his free throws, his threes, on his little floaters around the rim. And if you're ground bound, like he is, meaning you can't jump, you better develop really good fakes and really good floaters, or else a lot of your shots are going to get packed.
Floats it up and in. What a soft floater for a big man.
Okay, here's where Cantor's really good. All right, so let's see what he does. He's got Mouse in the house. He's got Harris guarding him, or excuse me, that's Murray. It looks like. So look at where Jokic is playing. Even though Myers, in theory, is a threat, Jokic is not concerned about Myers at all. So he's probably sensed something. Maybe Myers was giving him the jitters vibe. He's like, yeah, that guy's not going to make it. So he plays off of him. And he also sees that Murray's the one guarding Cantor, so he needs to be there to help out. So Plumlee gets back and doubles. And then let's see what Hood does.
Hood drives.
So watch quick dribbles. This will be the last one we do. Okay, so just watch Hood pump fake, right? Pump fake. He didn't even really pump fake. And you got to be a little quick too with your fakes. So you can have, but probably what would have happened, if you ask me, if Hood would have sold the fake, like really, really sold it, gone a little bit slower, really sold the fake, Murray would have been long past him, rather than what we see right here, where Murray really sticks with him, and then watch how Rodney gets his base and gets set, and then is able to go up without, because Plumlee really wants that charge, right? He's going to get the whole crowd cheered up. All his teammates are going to be high-fiving and bumping him. But let's get that pier. Okay, here we go.
Hood drop.
Good. All right, straight up. Got on balance.
Floaters up and
That's a good finish, though, too. It's a good finish. Okay. So watch this. Just kind of rewatch it. Maybe you can watch the rest of the game, and we'll just kind of keep going through it a little bit at a time. Because this is a really, really good game to watch. Because Game 7, everybody's trying to play their hardest, trying to play their best. So it's a good one to break down. And then I think we'll just go like backwards. We'll finish this game, then go to Game 6, Game 5, and so on. Because Game 1, man, you just came off burying Oklahoma City in the most dramatic way possible, and now you got a new foe. So how do you keep up your drive to win, all of that, right? After that big, huge, dramatic, really come from behind victory. Clearly with Dame's shot to put it to bed. So, all right, bud, have fun watching, and then we'll talk again on the other side. Okay.